How's it going, everybody? Welcome to part 2 of our series on patch jackets and shirts. You've seen one way of doing it, which for those people who are not inclined to sew, you really only have one of two options. You can use the glue method, which we saw last time, which has its ups and downs. You have got to be mother kidding me. Look at that. Ah! Primarily it's useful for when you have patches that don't have the iron-on backing, but on this episode I'm going to show you how to apply iron-on patches so that you can have an easier time putting those patches on your jacket. So let's get started. Fortunately, most patches that you buy will come as iron-ons. For example, I have this patch here. I have this patch here. This one right here. And this one. These are all iron-on patches. This one right here, which happens to be a squad patch from the Imperial Outlanders as well. Unfortunately, this one is not iron-on. Now, how can you tell? Well, there's a real simple way. If you flip the patch over, you'll see that this one here has a fairly flat looking backing. It's all nothing but material. Whereas when you flip over an iron-on patch, you'll find it has a kind of a glossy finish to it. This glossy finish, this rubber looking plastic type of a finish, that's the actual adhesive material that gets heated up when you use the iron. So as you can see, these ones here are iron-on, and the other one is not. One of the options, and the one that I was planning on using today, is a product such as this called Heat Bond. Okay, now what this does is you take it and you apply it over the back of the patch that you want to use. You iron on it for 2 seconds. It bonds the one side to the patch. Then you cut around it to the shape that you desire. And then you can go ahead and you can iron on that patch to your garment. And then, of course, if you want to go ahead and stitch around the outside, that's fine. Well, unfortunately, the one that I bought, because I didn't really understand that, this one is designed to hold the product and then you go ahead and stitch it. So it looks like I'm going to have to go ahead and exchange that for another one, which is yet another one of my wonderful screw-ups here that's going to delay me getting this shirt completely ready for the upcoming Comic-Con, but I should be able to get it done before then. But at any rate, once I get the appropriate version, I will be doing a little bit of a tutorial showing how I did that. I don't know if I'll add it on to the end of this one, or it'll be on another one. But yeah, that's kind of a little crash course in affixing different patches. Now I could go back to the way I did it before and use either super glue or some other fabric glue, but as I haven't had a whole lot of success with that without making a mess, I think I'm going to have to skip it. Now there is one exception to this rule, and I'm about to show you what that is. This right here is my Star Wars patch jacket. Okay, it's just a basic hoodie that I got at Walmart. I liked it because it just said Star Wars on it and had a lot of room to put patches and things of that nature on. Like this little Seasons of the Force, or was it? Yeah, Seasons of the Force pin that I got. The main problem with this garment that I had is that I cannot, under any circumstances, utilize an iron-on option because this particular material happens to be a very soft polyester with kind of a satiny finish to it. It will melt. It says very specifically on the garment that high heat is not recommended for this. And if you do look up iron-on tutorials on the internet, it will tell you do not utilize a hot iron with this type of garment. And so your options are you can use super glue, E6000, or some other form of fabric bonding. As you can see, it's not ideal. There's a few places here where I need to touch up, where it had gotten the glue had exceeded the area that I was trying to apply to. And so, yeah, there's that. But I wanted to just bring this up so that I wouldn't have misled you guys into thinking, oh, well, you can just iron on any shirt. No, I mean, it might seem like common sense, but in the heat of the moment, when you're thinking about, oh, I want to make this really cool jacket, or I want to make this really cool shirt, you might not be thinking about that. Not a lot of people do crafts like this. It's not something as common as it used to be. When I was growing up, it was the early 70s, and people were putting patches on everything. So you had iron-ons, you had sew-ons, you had macrame, you had embroidery of all different types. My mom was a hippie, so she had patches on all kinds of stuff. And so I kind of grew up with the idea of putting patches on stuff. Plus, I grew up liking heavy metal music, so there's, you've got your metalhead type of jackets that have patches and buttons and chains and all that type of stuff on it. So, what I'm used to, it may not be what you're used to. So just wanted to bring that up and bring it to your attention. So anyway, that's the exception to the rule there.